What's good, YouTube? It's your boy RJ, and today we're going to be reacting to an It's Complicated video. Shout out to It's Complicated. Go check out his channel. Link is in the description box below. Let's get into the video.
Is there a difference between the dating advice for men versus the dating advice for women?
Yeah,
Facts.
I would say yes.
It is.
Isn't the dating advice for men typically how to seduce a woman and get her into bed, while the dating advice for women is usually how to get a man into a relationship, get him to commit and treat you right?
Yes.
Yeah, I would say generally that would be it, yes.
I feel like that's the objective for both sexes, right? Men typically go for sex and women typically go for money.
You've heard like seduce their mind first. Like women, we can end up with like a 5, right? But if he has like a personality, he has all these other things, like you see like average Joes all the time with fine ass women, right? So if you're advising them to just be genuine, like get to know the woman, like don't be so greasy. Like there is more to us than our bodies, that like get to know our mind, right? But with us, I don't know, like our advice, it's kind of changing now because women are more independent, and you know, it used to be like find a rich man, like.
And now you see why a lot of women don't know how to treat a man, because the advice is changing. She admitted it herself. The advice that our grandmothers got, our great grandmothers got, shoot, even some of our parents got, has changed with this next coming generation. And now we're seeing a lot more failed relationships. We're seeing people that don't know how to even operate within relationships. We're seeing a lot of toxic behavior within a relationship that back in the day, people used to be ashamed to be connected to some of the behavior that we are proud of today. It literally has flipped itself, right? And it goes back to the advice that we give each other. If I need advice on how to do this, I'm going to go to somebody that's done it already. I'm not going to go to somebody that's learning it. But now we're getting advice from people that haven't even done things yet. And this advice is not accurate. For a lot of women, they're getting advice, yeah, focus on your career, be independent. But guess what? The advice you're getting it from is from a girl who 19 years old, 20 years old. She ain't even had a career yet. She ain't even spent 10 years in a career, and see how it feels to reflect back on your life after 10 years of dedicating yourself to this job and looking like, dang, did I really feel fulfillment within this? Was this the destination I really wanted? They're not getting advice from these type of people that are in those situations. They need to go to people who are their elders, who have done it already, because ain't nothing new under the sun. We are living the same existence over and over and again with different experiences and different lives. That's all we're doing. Ain't nothing I done did that's different from what my pops did or my grandfather did. Let's continue.
Fine, you know, whatever, but it's way different now.
It's not
You
different.
have to compromise, and whenever you really like somebody, then you'll get to know what they believe in, and if you can relate to that and compromise, then you'll find a common ground and you'll find your right man, and you can like know that he's not a good man if he isn't gonna compromise with you.
I feel like, especially in this generation, we've just lost all compromise. We have so many unrealistic standards, so I think we're pretty much fucked. Can I say that on camera?
That's not true.
Well, how are men
I
and
got
women
hope.
ever supposed to get together if they have completely different goals?
Opposites attract?
Do you think opposites attract or like minds?
Like minds, both.
Isn't that a contradiction?
It is, but aren't women a contradiction of themselves?
They are.
Is there a difference between what women say that they want in a relationship and what they actually respond to?
Absolutely.
Facts.
I feel like women, we're just like we contradict by nature.
So can
The reason why most women contradict themselves is because they pick and choose what they want to apply to themselves. They don't hold themselves accountable for the bad side of things, for the most part, not all women. That's why you'll have a conversation with a woman like, what do you want? And as she's explaining and trying to wreck her mind and trying to build this perfect image of a guy that she wants, that she thinks she can manifest out of thin air for some reason, she will contradict herself more times than not, because she wants one thing but don't want the other thing. You can't have the best of both worlds. If you become or want a specific type of person, you got to take the good and the bad. And it just is what it is. And women aren't taught that they have to take the bad as well. They think they can ignore the bad, take the good, and be good. It don't work like that.
Can you trust a woman's dating advice?
No.
Like I said, it depends on who it comes
I
from.
feel like women, though, should not be so. I feel like women should kind of let their guard down sometimes, even though men can be creeps. But but I feel like women should loosen up, be more open, have more options.
What are your thoughts on
Not
dating
bad.
coaches?
Dating coaches. I think that there's something to it, right? I think that they've taken the time to understand like psychology and dating and what works and what doesn't.
Why are there virtually no dating coaches for women?
That's a good question. I think mostly because women are the ones being pursued most of the time.
It is.
Because women think they know it all.
Because women are emotional creatures. They're fucking crazy.
Because women are always jealous. They're always, sorry Lily, women are always jealous of each other for some odd reason. Like if they want to give a woman advice, it's usually advice that they need to take themselves.
Is there a difference between what women say that they want in a relationship and what they actually respond to?
Yes.
So can you trust a woman's dating advice?
No.
Sometimes
Keep it
they
real.
say what they want when it's not really what they need.
I think maybe women should be more upfront right away so they're not wasting their time or leading the guy on if he has other intentions.
What are your thoughts on the following expression? You don't ask a fish how to catch a fish, you ask a fisherman.
Stupid.
That's the best analogy I've heard.
Facts.
I mean, the fish isn't going to tell you how to catch them. So you have to be skilled at what you want. So if you're the fisherman, you know how to, like, you know, put the moves out there, you know, like you're skilled in what you want to get.
If there's somebody out there for everyone, why do some men seem invisible to women while other guys seem to get all the girls?
Because you need to step your game up.
Is it true most women only have eyes for the top percentile of men?
100%.
What advice would you give to a man who feels invisible to women?
I would say he needs to look at what he's doing in life and not just financially, but maybe his appearance, maybe he's not showering, maybe he's not trying to, you know, look good in his clothing. Like, to me, I'm personally attracted to if you look your best. It doesn't really matter if you're not like a 10 out of a 10, but if you at least try to look your best, you're groomed, you know, I don't really go for the bank account first, you know.
I would definitely say just be yourself and be confident. Just because, like, don't let your heart go cold because somebody out here will appreciate you and what you have to offer.
When a man is confident, when he's like, I know what I want, this is what we're doing, this is where we're going, this is how it's going to be, he's going to attract girls because naturally, like, we want to be submissive.
A lot of women like men to bring out their femininity, and in order to do that, a man approaching a woman helps them let them be at.
That makes no sense. What if I went to a woman and said, you know what, I'm more naturally feminine, but if you're feminine, then I'll bring out my masculinity. It doesn't make sense. So how can you apply that same logic to the opposite gender? It doesn't make sense either way. No, if you're feminine, you're going to be feminine. I know plenty of feminine women, and they are feminine at all times, no matter if they're crying, no matter if they're happy, no matter if they just broke up, no matter if they just got into a new relationship. They're feminine at all times. Men are going to take a quick second, especially if you've already gave us the box. If you already gave us the box, then we really are going to look further than that after the fact. We're going to look at, like, damn, what type of girl is she though? Is she masculine? Is she feminine? If she's masculine, she's going to constantly be competing with me, constantly be challenging me. That's not welcoming. That's not something that I want to spend the rest of my life with. Or like, yeah, I'm going to marry you and be challenged the rest of my life. When I have a woman that's feminine, she's going to bring me peace. She's going to make me feel at home. She's going to honestly have those mothering qualities about her, because guess what? If she's already showing those before she has children, they're going to come out even more, and you know she's going to be a good mother. At the end of the day, it ties back into reproduction with the best person. Are you mating with the best person? That's what it comes down to. That's why God instilled masculinity and femininity, and he gave it to certain genders and kept it away for the most part from certain genders. A lot of women today want the benefits of being a man, but don't want the consequence of being a man as well. They're like, oh, men can sleep around and not care. I can too. Well, guess what? Your pH balance is going to be off. You're going to be feeling all type of crazy all the type of time because your emotions are going to be running high. You might even get a yeast infection. Men, we don't deal with none of that. We keep it pushing. You can't beat us at our own game. Let's continue.
Ease and in their femininity instead of having the woman approach the man.
Have the most confident men ultimately met your expectations?
No.
So why are women so fixated on a confident man?
Well, confidence is key because you seem more sure of yourself, like you have it all figured out, but it needs to stay like that.
And that's the thing, is like they're not any better. In fact, most of the time the confident men are way worse than these like nice guys. So it really just comes down to you being just like sure of yourself, if you know like you have something to offer.
Well, why are women so attracted to confidence if confident men often come with toxic qualities?
That's a great question. I actually love that question. Honestly, I think that it's the toxic qualities that sometimes bring confidence.
A lot of men go after baddies and they're insecure and not confident and then can't handle it. So go marry an ugly woman if that's the case.
Do you see how disrespectful she is? Not only to men, but to other women. Disrespectful. That right there, y'all, is called pretty privilege. He can say that because she knows that men are still going to come for her, right? She knows it. She can say whatever she wants. She don't have to think about what she's saying before she's saying it. She's saying it to a guy who has a channel of hundreds of thousands of people. You don't know who's going to watch the video, but she don't care. She don't care because when you are taught this delusion your whole life, accountability goes all the way out the window. You lose all accountability, and then when you get caught out for it, you try to justify your bad behavior. Be careful for the ones that act like this. And then remember, if they tell you who they are, believe them.
Have the most confident men ultimately met your expectations?
Absolutely, just because the confidence is from within, and that energy is felt. So it's just like it's like a reflection of what you give out.
Why do women often choose to make lists of what they want
I
in
should
a
make that
relationship
face.
rather than what they bring to the table?
Do they though?
It could go both ways, but it's always been in society where the man has to be the man in the relationship. That's how I want him to be, the bigger person, the one to bring everything to the table.
Well, I mean, don't a lot of women say they want like a guy who's 6 feet tall and 6 figures and 6-pack?
Yeah.
So we call that the rule of sixes, but you don't typically see a woman saying.
But I mean,
If they don't see a guy that's 6'5", 6'2", basketball player, NBA, if you don't make over 5K or 12K or however much, it's to the standards. The standards are overwhelming, and I blame social media.
Right.
If men and women are equal, why do men always have to step up to women instead of women stepping off their pedestal to meet a man on equal terms?
That's a good question. Can you read that one more time? That's a good question.
Why is dating advice typically about coaching men to improve, but never about humbling women to accept more average men like they did in the past?
because it's all about pleasing the woman, of course.
Why is this burden placed on men only to become exceptional?
Because pussy is power.
Who was
Now, she's speaking the truth. As much as I hate to admit it, she's speaking the truth. Men, we enable this type of behavior. If we look at a woman and hold them accountable for talking like this and acting like this, they're going to change their behavior. But at the end of the day, there's a positive and there's a negative to it. You see how she said P is power? Well, guess what? If you giving the P away, how much power does it really have? Think about it.
assigns this burden, men or women?
I believe women.
I think women can be a little hard-headed, and I feel like you can kind of coach a man a little bit more, and they want to know what a woman wants.
Why should men be expected to bring more to the table than they ever have in order to please women who bring less to the table than they ever have?
Because the man is the provider, baby.
Why are women typically spoiled beyond their needs while men are typically deprived of their basic needs?
Because women deserve more.
You see how that went from, oh, men need to get their act right, to now, oh, women are better. But if a man said, yeah, all men are better than women, we all know this, women ain't shit, da-da-da-da-da, we will be crucified. But because of the media, this is the type of behavior that a lot of women have in the Western world. In the Western world, a lot of women have this type of behavior. If I go to a place that is not as privileged as the Western society, it's a lot more humbleness. It's a lot more caring. It's a lot more loving. It's a lot more welcoming. So if I have the means to go find that somewhere else, why would I stay and put up with the BS, with the low quality behavior, the low quality attitudes? Even at the end of the day, a lot of women don't realize this. Your looks will only get you so far. Once you open your mouth and the guy is not hypnotized by your image no more because you didn't gave him the box. Because for real women, when y'all give away the box, it's like the spell is lifted from us. We not under. If you're a very beautiful woman, and most guys that you run into you let you know that, as soon as you give the box away, we're not captivated no more. So there has to be something else about you to keep us around. We got what we are looking for. The fun part to us is over. How are you going to act and conduct yourself to keep us is going to dictate on where this relationship goes.
Why do women often choose to make lists of what they want in a relationship rather than what they bring to the table?
Because it's women first. The man is there to accommodate for our needs.
What does a woman bring
Her
to the
attitude
table?
disgusting.
Knowledge, common sense, pussy.
You see?
Why should men be expected
Just
to bring
give
more
it
to the
away
table
for
than they
nothing.
ever have in order to please women who bring less to the table than they ever have?
Social media. Everybody wants to be a Quavo. Everybody wants to have a Birkin bag, and everybody wants to have, what is it, Gucci shoes and Gucci flip-flops. Nobody wants to have housing. Nobody wants to have land. Everybody see all these rappers buying everybody everything, and that's what they want. And they don't understand that it's a reality. Not everybody can get what Tupac got or Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
Women feel like them opening their legs can be enough to catch a man.
Facts.
So they don't really think that they have to excel sometimes. But I also feel like men also can be complacent where they think like being an average Joe, they can get whoever they want if they're good looking.
Coming up with 5 sisters, I don't know. I feel like for men, it's our responsibility to spoil women. I don't
No,
know where
it's
that
not.
comes from.
No, it's
but
not.
I feel like it's our responsibility just to spoil women, so that's what we do.
There is no responsibility. That's like almost saying women are entitled for men to spoil them. No, you have to deserve that. You have to deserve that. Being spoiled is not a good quality. Have you ever heard a spoiled brat? That was never said in a positive light. That's not a good thing. Don't listen to this man because it's not our responsibility to spoil anybody. You have to deserve what you get. And when you get it, you better be humble about it.
Sometimes it comes second nature, and sometimes it comes with bad intentions.
What's the difference between understanding women versus analyzing women's behavior?
Understanding women, you got to care about their feelings. Analyzing their behavior is just watching how they act and react to things.
I feel like analyzation comes from a place of observation, and then understanding comes from a place of reflection.
Isn't one more empathetic and the other strategic?
Yes.
So is it wrong to be strategic when it's called a dating game?
Hell yeah, it's the dating game. It got to be. It's a damn game, man. It got to be strategic. Shit.
I just got to speak on my brother real quick for his amazing talent to pop his eyeballs out his skull and suck them right back in. That's crazy. I ain't seen that very many times in my life. That's crazy.
Yeah, but it doesn't always have to be a game if you're trying to find the right one.
What does it mean to have game?
Confidence, something to bring to the table, something to offer the woman, and prove why you're the one. Why do you deserve that woman?
Men that are at the higher percentile, they know they have game. So they already know that they're a catch.
Game, I just feel like you have great social skills.
You gotta have game. You gotta have sauce. You gotta be a player. Know what I mean? You gotta know how to talk to them. You gotta let it roll off the tongue the right way. Know what I'm saying?
If women want men to just be themselves, why is approaching women a skill men need to learn? Why does he need game?
Because you can't make it awkward, man. It's just like if you approach anybody, you want to have a comfortable conversation, relationship with whoever you're talking to.
It's the same when women get approached. They also need to learn how to pass the ball back. So that's what makes the game so fun. It's when you're an expert at it, not even an expert, but just knowing how to do it playfully and in a good manner.
Why do we keep asking men to have game when approaching women and instead ask why are modern women so unapproachable?
I don't think it's that modern women are unapproachable. I think it's just more so the way men come off. So it kind of makes us have a guard up, seem like we're unapproachable. But once you get to know us, it's not always like that.
Because of the evil men ruining it for the good guys. We get nervous and we don't like to be approached aggressively because the intentions aren't pure a lot of the times. So you got to do it the right way and learn game.
So let's go by her logic. The evil guys ruined it for the good men. So if I go and treat every woman like a hoe, the hoes ruined it for a good woman. Don't feel too good when it's reciprocated, is it?
And be a good guy.
Modern women are just exhausted. Just because, like, the same way men are exhausted, like, it's just unrealistic expectations, standards, so many options that are not really even options. And I just feel like this generation, we're just so focused within ourselves. We're very self-centered.
Many women complain that guys don't appreciate them enough. How do you know whether to blame men for not making enough effort or women for not showing enough gratitude?
I think it goes hand in hand. I think some women get lost and they don't want to show gratitude, and I feel like they don't want to be appreciative of what their man can offer them, and I think that goes vice versa too.
Is it hard to satisfy men or women?
Oh God.
Women.
I feel like it's harder to satisfy women because we always want the best.
I blame men for that because sometimes we do get stuck in our ways, and sometimes men, we try to think logically all the time, and sometimes that's not needed. So I blame us for that one.
You can tell this brother was raised around women because he speaks like one. He speaks like one, truly. There are women out here, it might not be at a higher proportion, but there are women out here that will appreciate you for what you bring, no matter where you at in life. There are. You don't have to settle for bad behavior. You don't have to settle for hoish ways. You don't have to settle for crude and unsavory attitudes just because she has a pretty face and a nice smile and a nice ass. There are plenty of women in this world that would kill to be in her position. So go find them. It's your boy RJ. Thank you for watching the video. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you like content like this, go ahead and click the subscribe button. When you do, click that bell notification button and click all so you're notified when I drop these banger videos. It's your boy RJ, and I'm going to catch you on the next one. Deuces, YouTube.